What is up? Today we're going to talk about mastery and why mastery is so important. In short, the further you get from the competition, the more money you get paid. It's kind of the 80-20 rule, meaning that 20% of the people get far out to get really good at what they do, make 80% of the revenue. And I want you to move into that realm, and I'll show you exactly how to do just that. And we're going to do a little audit today and take a look at the 3 levels of being a basic bitch and how to be a badass and the 3 levels of that. So if you and I have not met yet, my name is Troy. I want to help you in your life. Now, I've been through all these steps, and I'm going to show you my own experience within each one of them, and also to understand that you can move through the different levels. And so I want to break these down. There can be 3 levels of the basic bitch. You're going to have to look at that and give yourself an honest audit and see where you're at within that, or if you are in that realm. And then we look at mastery, becoming a badass at what you are. That's moving out to that 20% where very few people exist, where you're making more of the revenue. Then you have to look at where you're at in that stage as well. So the first one is just, first of all, sorry, a little side note here. My throat is out because I've been talking a whole lot. I was in LA for a few days and just running around, speaking, chatting, talking, conversating, like to mastery levels. And then I came back. I didn't really take a break. I think I caught something, and I've just been a little hoarse and raspy since then. So I got my like DMX vibe going right now. But let's jump into this right now. So we're looking at the concept of just being like a basic bitch. And again, I've been there myself, man, and in a good spot to be. The first level is just the victim. And when you're the victim, you really believe that you're at the effect of everything in life. What does that mean? It means, well, I was born this way. I don't have these skills. I don't have this kind of money. My parents are like this. I grew up this way. I had to face these hardships. And you're at the effect of all those events rather than being at the cause of those events, meaning they were there for a reason. They can help serve you. You learn something through them. You're stronger because of those things. But I know for me, when I was stuck in that victim frame, it was like I put a wall between myself and the reality and the world around me. And when there's a wall separating you from anything else, you can't really move forward in life. You can't grow. You can't expand. And you absolutely cannot learn from your situations because you're the victim of them, right? There's nothing to learn from them because woe is me. If you're that type of person, you're going to be stuck in deep coping energies. Coping energies are, you're looking for things just to satisfy the moment, right? You're looking to escape reality, essentially. And you'll do anything really, like that becomes your God, is to escape reality because it's very painful. And, as you ascend from there, you switch from that like suffering, deep suffering energy into a thriving energy. That's ultimately the phases that you're looking to move through, is into this thriving energy. But beyond the victim mentality is what I call the golden handcuffs. It's kind of where you're just getting by. You probably work a job that you're not satisfied in. It pays the bills. You justify the reason for the job. And, maybe, hey, it helps me get these things, helping the family out. It's helping whatever. And, it's meaningful work. And that's all fair. But this person is also in not maybe suffering, but they're in coping energy. They're looking forward to the moment when 5 o'clock comes and they can go home and they can grab their weed, they can grab their alcohol, and they can just let time pass by. They can turn on the sports game and just kind of like delve into that. And that, in essence, becomes your God. You're a slave to like the comfort, the ease. You're never really taking a risk. You're never pushing beyond yourself. And it's hard because you got the golden handcuffs concept is that you're making enough just to kind of get by, but it's not ever actually moving you towards anything. You're not like thriving. Again, you're just kind of getting by in life. And again, you're going to be a slave to like these coping mechanisms. Beyond that, we have what we call like the productive procrastinator. And it's usually someone who's moving towards business. They're engaged in business. Maybe you have a business and you really spend a lot of your time. It's like a dog chasing its tail. And I've been that person before. And what you're doing is you get caught up in this like dopamine concept where you're essentially doing things based on the idea or the fantasy of becoming something or someone. And so you're not doing anything like, it's the concept of like being wide and shallow versus narrow and deep. And to be narrow and deep means like to keep going, keep moving, keep like learning from the thing, keep working on your craft, becoming into that master realm. But when you face adversity, you often shift gears. It's like, oh, it feels better just to do this because you get more dopamine from it. Because to work through hard things, you don't really get a lot of dopamine from it. You'll eventually get there, be more of actually what serotonin is, which is a long-term reward system. But the hard thing is like, oh, I got to do this. I got to try this thing. You never fully arrive. You're always striving. Now, the big thing that separates this stage from moving into mastery is action. Like, look behind me, I have all these degrees, right? 3 different degrees. And the reality is, you know what's better than degrees? Fucking action, doing the thing, taking the shot. Like a lot of the advice I give to people now, maybe I'm working with someone, they want to start their business and they'll say things like, oh, I got to get my logo done, or I'm working on my business plan. And I'm like, motherfucker, like take the shot, like just get going. You already know what to do. It's you getting another degree, you getting another certificate so you can start the thing, being certified in this. Enough of that. Like, when do you finally arrive? And so when you're in that energy, you're spending a lot of time like reading books. And that was me. I mean, I have a library of fucking books so big that like every oh, I hear this book, oh, I hear that book, oh, I gotta go buy this one. And it's this dopamine hit, like, oh, I'm learning, I'm getting better at the thing. Oh, and now I'll get my degree, I'll do this, and I'll learn this thing, and I'll watch this YouTube video, and I'll buy that course. Like this, it's this continuance of never actually taking the action that really matters. And that's what's going to hold you back from entering into the mastery realms or the badass realms. And you're going to stay a basic bitch because you're just circling. You're chasing your tail over and over. You're putting out a lot of energy like a dog chasing its tail, but you're never actually moving anywhere. I'll take a sip from my throat. Look at this. You know what I mean? I woke up like this. So to move into mastery, you have to do that. You have to be a person of action. So let's look at the next 3 levels. The next one is the aggressive noob. So you're new at the thing, you're very aggressive, you're maybe taking a lot of action, but it's uncalibrated. And so you might get results, but it's very ego-based and competitive-based. Now this, again, might bring results. You might be getting some momentum somewhere, but you're not fully calibrated on exactly how you're doing it. And your ego is telling you like, yeah, I'm really good at this thing. This is why I'm doing this. You're outside like validation seeking. So you're looking at the outcomes, like the money, the rewards, the success you're getting, but you're not really connected to the process of it yet. You don't understand why you're getting good at these things. You haven't reached your 10,000 hours yet. Now, one of the things I'll share with you is like my journey becoming a personal trainer. Like, man, I took in the beginning of this journey, like becoming a personal trainer was just a challenge in itself. Like, oh, getting the courage to do that. Cause I did not think I thought I was dumb and ugly for years. And so I was like, man, I can't pass a personal training exam. So when I finally did, that was like a big thing. And then I had to go get clients. I'm like, well, shit, I thought I was just going to train people. Nah, I had to learn how to go make money. I had to learn how to sell them my ideas and essentially build up like enough momentum within them that they would want to take this journey with me. So I had to learn that process. I took a bunch of L's, man, like starving type of things, right? Where I'm just like, I ain't making no money. I can't buy any food. I'm suffering here. And then really being forced into having to learn the skills to get good at these things. And then when I started getting wins, in the beginning, I would have moments where I'd like, oh, I got it. I think I got it figured out. But I really didn't know what I had done to create success in that moment. Like maybe I just spoke a little bit differently, or I got somebody who was just like really wanted to sign up. They like needed to lose weight or whatever. It was just kind of the right moment. We connected. And that can happen. And you can get little successes and wins, and that's good. It's okay. But I wasn't connected to the process yet. Like, why would someone choose me over someone else? Why would someone at the time, I think I was selling like $1,500 fitness packages. Why would someone sell or buy that with me? And I'm like 21, 22 years old with this 22-year-old kid, right? And just give me a mortgage payment. Like, why would they do that? I wasn't connected to the process yet. So that's the next step, is you become the grinder. And the grinder is you're more connected to what actually creates results. So you start to spend your time and energy on that. It's like I went from reading, let's say, just generalized books to learning specific skills within sales, and then specific ways to build value, specific ways to market certain things, whatever it is, right? Like I started getting more refined in what it is I needed to learn, how I needed to communicate to people. I started to understand as I take people through this, I did like this evaluation process, right? Where I would show them a little bit of the workout that they would be on, but I started to be aware of what it is I was doing along the journey. So that's one of the biggest differences from what we're talking about now in this grinder mastery phase, becoming the badass, to the basic bitch phase. Is when you're basic, you got no awareness. And so you don't even know what you're missing. And again, no judgment. I've been in all those phases. And when I was in those phases, like I talked about, I was just spinning my wheels in the mud. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I had no awareness. Like, this isn't working. I don't know why it's not working. Let me be the victim. It's got to be because of this. It's got to be because of these things. And when you're in that energy, like, you're against everyone else. Like, everything is owed to you. The government owes me. People owe me. My parents owe me. My friends owe me. Fuck everyone. That's kind of what that energy is like. And again, so your first step is to break that. And so you create upward momentum, you create more awareness, and then you can start to change your reality because you're no longer at the effect, you become at the cause of it. Well, wait, motherfucker, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm fucking up here. Like, I would go through these sales processes with people, they wouldn't sign up. In the beginning, it was like, well, I'm getting all the shitty leads. It must be that, right? Then after a while, I was like, no, man, fuck. Like, maybe it is that. And so I literally remember that. I'm like, why don't I start making connections with the sales team? And so when they sign someone up, maybe they would they like me, they'll give me better leads. And that actually is something I did. And I believe that actually helped. Like, they did give me better leads. And then when I'd sign someone up, I'd go give them a little gift card, like $20 or something like that. Yo, man, appreciate you. That person ended up signing up with me. Well, guess what? That's me being at the cause, not the effect. Whereas before, it's just like, oh, I just get the shitty leads. Well, motherfucker, do something about it, right? That's an example of moving into mastery. And so then I'm crafting my skill sets. Well, wait a second. Like, I learned how to do this a certain way. And I'm realizing that, by just showing people what it looks like to lose weight or do certain exercises doesn't really get it. Like, it's just giving them information. It's very logical based. You're selling something and you're stuck in the logical frame. Their brain is going to think they can figure it out, and you're never actually going to make connection. What makes somebody move? Like, just answer that question for yourself. What makes somebody move and make decisions? Emotions, because you're an emotional creature. That's what's unique about you. And so just a little like caveat here is like, to sell yourself on something, to get motivation, exactly what we're talking about here, is you've got to get connected to your own emotions. You have to be emotionally charged as to why you will or you won't do something, or you won't fucking do it. You got to get your emotions connected to it. Because again, that's what makes you human, not a robot. So once you're doing that, you're understanding what really moves the needle. You're falling in love with the process. You're tweaking the dial. That's what's great about this phase, is you start to tweak the dial. You know what? Like, this doesn't work. That doesn't work. These things work. You're getting momentum. The thing you'll have to be careful of is you can get addicted to the grind. And so, sorry, man, I'm burning out that vocal box. Got to be careful. But what you're doing actually, as you're getting that momentum, is you can become addicted to that grind process. And you have to be careful because it'll keep you from ascending to the next level. So you'll look for the friction. You'll almost create chaos. And so rather than making more money and working, I always call it, like, it's working either on yourself or on the business versus in it. Like, you'll just get stuck in the grind. Like, I got to do more of this, more of that. Well, if you learned to go topical, that's why I always call it like topical. I look at, okay, what would actually move the needle, the ball down the field? Is, man, I'm taking things too personal. Like, every sales call I make, every, casting thing I go on, every job I apply to, every time I talk to my boss, whatever, I'm taking it personal. That's on me. That's going to slow my progress down. And so by me not taking things personal, I learn a valuable skill set, and that actually allows me to move forward in life. Beautiful. Now you're working topical, working on yourself, on your business. So it's the same thing. That will help you move forward rather than being stuck in that grind, because that's where a lot of people get stuck. You can't really enter the last level of mastery or becoming a badass because you're stuck and addicted to that grind, the chaos process. So then as you enter the mastery level, you've broken the 10,000 hours. The unique thing about it is it actually takes less effort. It's like second nature to you, right? Your confidence has ascended because like, subconsciously, how much the volume of work you put into things. You've made the mistakes. Like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Something I've done for over a decade. You don't make somebody a black belt is essentially they just have tapped 10,000 times more than a white belt. Like, they've gone through the things. Oh, shit, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. When I was a personal trainer, I exceeded well over 10,000 hours. And that was absolutely a level of mastery for me. I literally was runner up for personal trainer of the year at one point, published books and articles and all this stuff. And I mean, I believe like to this day, I haven't like physically gone out and trained someone. I do a lot of that with my clients. We do virtual coaching about nutrition and fitness and stuff like that. But if I were to take someone right now, I still believe like in this moment, you would be hard pressed to find anybody that could do a better job. Like that's the level of mastery I created. And it's just whether that's true or not, that's the belief I have. I truly believe that. Like, good luck. You know what I mean? Like I actually did the fucking work. And worked out all the nuances, the kinks, saw what worked, saw what didn't work. Like find somebody that can do that. But that's mastery, and you're hearing right now in real time like what that sounds like when someone creates that belief within them. Hours and hours and hours and tweaking the dial, getting into the process of what works, what doesn't work. Who do I have to learn from? Where are the mentors? Where do I need to go to? What do I need to listen to? Like investing in myself over and over. And guess what? Then you arrive into that level of mastery. And so when I actually train someone, it looks like effortless. Like I make that shit look easy. It's just smooth. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing with jujitsu. Like you watch, even myself, you watch somebody who's done it for a long time. It looks like they're expending very little energy, right? But it's because you've worked out all, you're actually giving less, you're forcing less and you're flowing more. But to get there, you got to go through all these steps. You have to understand that it's a long game. It's a process. It's learning that you can't be outcome focused. If you're staring at the outcome, I have to be this, I have to be good. And that's the validation. I want to just be validated, worth it. Man, you're setting yourself up for disaster. You have to stay in love with the process. Keep tweaking the dial, keep learning, keep flowing, keep seeing what works best. And over time, you work out those nuances. You learn, metaphorically speaking, when you put your arm out, it's going to get arm barred. So you don't put your arm out anymore. You connect it to your side, whatever. When you're training with somebody, you learn the right angles and how to connect with them and way to keep your body positioned. Like as an example, like I used to use like these finger taps on someone's shoulder or like their knee. So I wouldn't have to say anything. I just get them like pop, pop, pop. And they know like, oh, bring your knee in a little bit. Relax your shoulder here. Like boom, loosen it up. And I could just do this like sub communication that expended very little energy on my part, but it helped me be locked in with them. Like this was a phrase I used to always use. Like I could anticipate their next move. I was so tapped into the moment, right? Like that's something I bring with my clients is I can anticipate your next move in life, where you need to be. I can lead you here, lead you there. But that comes from years, like thousands and thousands of hours of doing something. And so what are you moving towards? What are you developing your skills in as a master? And will you allow yourself to go on that journey? Now, along the way, you may think, oh, I'm too old. It's going to take too long. There's other people that are good at it. So what? Like it's not about the outcome. It's about you learning about you. It's about you going on an adventure, right? That's what mastery is. It's an adventure. It's to unlock parts of yourself that you never knew existed before. That's the beauty of it. So move towards that, whatever it is. Make it play, make it fun. It doesn't have to be serious. That's part of it too. Like, can you laugh through this process? Laughter is one of the most high vibrational energies. Can you learn not to take yourself too serious? Because guess what? You're not going to get to mastery if you take yourself too serious. You won't. You'll crack along the way. I got to make it perfect. I got to be the best. Crack. You'll explode. Right? And so, see, that's part of it. It's learning these things as you go through the journey from basic bitch to badass. And so allow yourself to go on that journey. Don't be basic, man. I love you so much. Make these videos for you. Head over to my website, troyfontana.co. Make sure you sign up over there. I got a free mini course to help you with your confidence. And then, of course, like, share, subscribe. Until next time, deuces.